Gifty Owari Mensah, how she was involved in all of this. And then you had the Attorney General give that full detail of the scheme, that criminal enterprise that the investigations have uncovered at the National Service Authority that has led to the loss of this amount of money, 548.3 million. Think about it. 548.3 million Ghana cedis over this 6-year period between 2018 and 2024. And the foundation for all of this is the Fourth Estate investigation, which we here on Key Point spent some time on, if you recall, about 6 months ago. And the details of it, we got. Some names that were repeated 226 times. And some persons who were not even Ghanaian. Somebody with sitting somewhere in Kenya had his name in there as a national service person receiving allowance. Somebody receiving the allowance on his behalf in our database. After all the investigation, this is how much we have lost as a nation. That's the amount of money the Attorney General put to it. And this was with the orchestration of some 81,885 ghost names. And this was all through a scheme, which the Attorney General says was an entire enterprise involving the top hierarchy of the former National Service Authority, the Director General, Deputy Director General, the previous Director General before the immediate Osei, and then also Yusuf, who became eventually the Minister for Youth and Sports as well, and then the Deputy Director, the Head of Accounts, auditors, and then the marketplace, that's the vendors who are supposed to be working with the National Service Authority to ensure the integrity of the system. According to the AG, they were all part of the enterprise that led to all of this. This is the breakdown that he gave. In 2018-2019, some 25.8 million was lost within that period. 2020-2021, over 21.6 million cedis was lost to this enterprise. Between 2020-2021 service year, 55.6 million and over was lost to this enterprise. In the 2021-2022 service year, over 61.3 million cedis was lost to this enterprise. And I want us to follow this closely because that's going to form the basis for this conversation. And then in the 2022-2023 service year, something happened in there. Over 350.9 million cedis was lost to this scheme or as a result of this criminal enterprise. That's the Attorney General talks about. And so stay with us because we want to understand why this year, 2022-2023, that much money was lost as a result of the orchestration and operation of this criminal enterprise. Over 300, according to the Attorney General, 350.9 million cedis lost. And then 2023-2024, a little over 32.8 million cedis was lost to this enterprise. You'd heard the Attorney General mention some names. The suspects, as far as we do know, these are the suspects as was captured in the Attorney General's press conference. They're going to put that on the screen right now. Mustafa Yusuf, the former executive director, he's a member of parliament for the Yabai Kabari constituency now. He's a former youth and sports minister. The NSA former director general, Osei Asibe Enchi, in fact, the immediate past director general. And then the immediate past deputy executive director or deputy director general, Gifty Owari Mensah. You heard the Attorney General also give details of how she was also alleged to have been involved in all of this with this is it, mastermind, that's alleged to have masterminded a scheme, registering 9,934 ghost names in a payroll, alleged to have created a sham company, Blocks of Life Consult, to secure some over 30 million cedis loan from the ADB, and also subsequently diverting the loan funds through shell companies, Amacom, Scaffold, Aristo Logistics, and it's also, according to the Attorney General, reported to have used her husband's, that's Peter Mensah, a private legal practitioner, as a middleman. And then also Maxwell Ofori-Mintah as collaborators as well. But for the immediate past Director General, according to the Attorney General, he's reported to have personally received some over 8.2 million cedis into an eSwitch account. And in fact, the AG said they found the eSwitch card in his room when they searched the place. At the top of the fraud hierarchy, received kickbacks from other officials as well. And these are the charges which we will run through as we go on. But this forms the basis for our conversation this morning. And it's important that we put the matters in context, because joining me in the studio is the current Director General of the National Service Authority. It is his predecessors who are in trouble. But then again, he inherited a system. And so this investigation obviously would have been with some form of assistance and aid from him as well to get to what the Attorney General was able to find. Mr. Felix Gyamfi is the Director General of the National Service Authority. He's joining us in the studio. Mr. Gyamfi, good morning.
Good morning, thank you.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Edem Zinano is a co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption. Sir, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you.
Dr. Janto is still with us on Zoom. But I start off with the obvious question. I mean, for you, Mr. Felix Gyamfi, seated, hearing the Attorney General talk about an authority that you are heading now as the Director General, with all of this detail, how did that strike you?
Well, thank you, Alfred. I've been in this position since late January, so the revulsion of the St0lěn Act has struck us, and then it's been quite worrying. So we knew this day was going to come, and then what happens is that whenever National Service discuss this extensively in the news for all the negative reasons that it is, it's just worrying. And then sometimes you wake up a bit down, and then it causes distortion in our plan of movement for the daily work that we'll have to do. But why not? We soldier on. Our focus is very clear, and it is to build a better national service where we would have moved away from this cancer that has eaten so deep into the very fabric of the organization that otherwise should be at the forefront of youth development empowerment. Mm-hmm. My resolve is so solid that henceforth we are done with this serious, disastrous, horrendous orchestration of issues at the authority, and that I can assure everybody that that is the way forward.
We knew that this was an investigation in motion, but Mensah, did you expect this? I mean, the magnitude of this criminal enterprise that, as the Attorney General put it?
Absolutely not. I mean, the level of collusion is so shocking. One would expect that persons of such high stature would not engage themselves in this kind of activity, especially if you understood our systems. The day of reckoning was sure to come. The expectation that you could get away with creating your own companies and siphon on money, and ultimately nobody will find out eventually, I mean, the impunity of that is what is shocking, that persons should collude and think that they could get away with this. I hear the acting Director General's assurances, but you see, when you have systemic problems, because this can only have happened because there was collusion across the value chain and because there were systemic failures. I don't know how internal audit works there. I'm not quite sure what the external auditors found or did not find. I'm not quite sure why sample validation of whether these persons existed or not did not happen. And so there are more questions than answers. I think that an assurance without detail will even make us more worried. So definitely not expecting this level of collusion, given the officers and their positions, and the extent of criminality in terms of the intentionality in creating companies, picking people's IDs. That's just mind-boggling. And I hope that, in this country we shot people for less. So sometimes you hear these things and you're wondering, did we come or did we go?
Well, if you don't mind,
very quickly, because I need to move.
All right, Mr. St0lěn has alluded to the comments that I made. I'm very mindful that this is a TV program, but if we were have enough time to go through what backs the assurances that I've given, I would give, and then we'll leave nobody in any doubt about our commitment to clear away this mess.
Well, because even after this mess, you've also, in the past, I think, 6 weeks ago or so, you reported another fraudulent scheme you have uncovered.
Well, that is, there are different levels of issues that we're dealing with at National Service. This payroll goes names fraud. It is one that we are dealing with it at the heart. We have.
You haven't dealt with it. It's an ongoing problem.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That I'm mindful that this is a TV program. It probably maximum I'll be here for 30 minutes. What the issues are, yes, and I'm not going to be able to tell you everything in just one show what we have done and all that. What you alluded to in the Brimnorth issue was an issue that involves much more than just National Service personnel and then the people who work there. This is an issue of Ghanaian workers working in private and public organizations, taking their salaries and also taking National Service allowances.
How is that happening?
Well, they come under the guise of doing National Service after they have gone what we call study leave. And then clearly the regulations are that you continue to take your salary after coming back to do National Service. But they were taking their National Service allowances and then taking their salaries. As well, which is it's obviously illegal, but people were still doing it. We know it's in the system and we've been tracking it for a while, but this time we had clear evidence and we acted.
So already, this ghost names matter. There's this other issue as well. Of course. Is siphoning money from the state.
It involves thousands of people, and that's why we acted on Brimnorth. And the morning I heard about it, I interdicted the two individuals and asked that nationwide, we know and suspected the people who are involved. And then already I asked people to be paying back. We have still gone to Controlling Accountant General and handed over our entire payroll for them to go through with the Government of Ghana payroll, something that is still being done. And people have started paying back money. As I speak to you this morning, we have received back about 550,000. I mean, this information that we've put there is going to involve police officers, soldiers, nurses, teachers, and even people in the private sector.
I see.
This morning,
police officers were part of this scheme of receiving money illegally.
Of course. You know, when we put that information out, you're going to be shocked at the number of people who are involved. Ordinary Ghanaians like you and I who go on their duties. In the Brimnorth incident, there was a custom officer who is working in the customs office, in his office, and then have posted himself on paper to the district assembly and getting...
As a national service person?
Yes. But that is not where we're going to make a lot of savings. Where we're going to make savings and stop this disorderly act that has happened in the last 8 years, it's making sure that no university outside of the approval of the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission gets access to do National Service.
No, so we're going to get into the layers of the corrective measures you put in place.
Right.
But I'm interested in this. So which category of professionals are we talking about in this latest scheme? This which is different from the ghost names matter we've been talking about.
I think that is going to break hearts if we put the information out there. I have said that we've given people an ample time to pay back these monies and probably go back to the board and ask that this is the information, what do we have to do? Already, like I told you, I can show the evidence on my phone that people have paid back 550,000. This month, we have received far less validations from the districts, which I suspect to be people who have now backed away from
receiving
backed away from submitting their monthly valuation forms. In excess of 5,000. I'm waiting to confirm in the new month whether these